You'll never be richer than the person you become. That one line changed my life. Because it flips the question from how do I get more to who do I need to become? Most people work harder on their job than they do on themselves and wonder why nothing changes. They grind, they hustle, they chase the raise, the side gig, the next hack. But they never upgrade the operator behind it all. Here's the truth no one wants to hear. Income rarely exceeds identity. You can't build $1 million life with $1,000 mindset. If your habits are small, your results shrink to match them. If your self-image is weak, your wealth won't feel safe staying with you. That's why even when people get lucky, when they hit the jackpot or catch a big break, the money eventually leaves. Because your outer world will always reorganize itself to match the person you've become on the inside. So if you want to be wealthy and happy, you don't chase wealth and you don't chase happiness. You chase growth. You work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Because your job makes you a living, but your self-work makes you a life. There's a line from Jim Rohn that says, if you took all the money in the world and divided it equally among everyone, it would soon all be back in the same pockets. That isn't luck or unfairness. It's gravity. People return to the level of growth they've earned. Money doesn't make you rich, mindset does. Without wisdom, money is a temporary visitor. With wisdom, even a small seed becomes a forest. When I first heard that, I argued. I told my mentor, I don't have money. He smiled and said, that's not a problem. And I said, what do you mean? That's literally the problem. He shook his head. No. The problem isn't lack of money. It's lack of an idea on how to create it. And that's when it clicked. It wasn't my bank account that was empty. It was my imagination. Because once you get the right idea, you can change anything. The question isn't, how do I make more money? The question is, what kind of person could I become who naturally attracts more money, more opportunities, more trust? So let's break this down. There are 3 steps to becoming wealthy and happy. They're simple, but they demand honesty. Step 1, find out how things work. Most people never study success. They just hope to stumble into it. But hope is not a strategy. If you want to be successful, study success. If you want to be happy, study happiness. If you want to be wealthy, study wealth. That means books, mentors, observation. Anything that expands your map. There's a reason successful people are obsessive readers. They're curious. They want to know how the game really works. Every problem you face has already been solved by someone. But if you never study, you keep reinventing pain. Read at least 30 minutes a day. Something challenging, something that stretches you. A page a day of the right book is more valuable than 1,000 motivational quotes online, because reading feeds the mind, and your mind is your first business. Step 2, go to work on yourself. This is where most people stop. They consume information, they collect inspiration, but they never take action. Knowledge without execution becomes ego. You start feeling wise without ever changing. The real magic starts when you apply what you learn. Discipline is self-respect in motion. It's proving to yourself that your word means something. Start small. Wake up when you said you would. Write down the idea you keep postponing. Keep one small promise every day. Because when you can trust yourself in the small things, you'll start trusting yourself with the big ones. Discipline compounds faster than interest. The more consistent you become, the more life starts to trust you with bigger opportunities. And that's the point. Opportunity doesn't show up randomly. It shows up for people who are ready. Self-motivation is another muscle to train. Don't outsource it. Stop waiting for someone to come by and turn you on. What if they don't show up? You'd be stuck. Real growth starts the moment you decide that no one is coming to save you. And that's actually good news, because it means you're free. You're in control. Every day you decide comfort or change. You can't have both. Step 3, play the long game. Don't try to beat the system. Learn how it works and then master it. Most people want shortcuts. They slice corners, look for cheap answers, and end up with cheap lives. Real success doesn't come from hacking time. It comes from aligning truth. Do things the right way, even when it takes longer. Because what you build fast breaks fast. What you build right lasts. When you combine these 3 steps, study, discipline, and integrity, you stop chasing wealth and start attracting it. You stop demanding happiness and start creating it. Now let's zoom out. Every morning you wake up, you're standing at the intersection between 2 lives. The one you have and the one you could have. The distance between them isn't luck. It's habits. It's mindset. It's how seriously you take your potential. You don't need to change everything tomorrow. Just one thing. One daily act of self-respect. One new pattern that honors the person you want to become. Because one new choice, repeated long enough, becomes a new identity. And identity is destiny. 5 years from now, you'll either look back and say, I built that life, or I wished I started sooner. Both versions of you exist. You get to decide which one wins. So starting tomorrow, study something that makes you wiser. Practice one discipline that makes you stronger. Speak one truth that makes you freer. Repeat that for a year. You'll look up and realize your job didn't change first. You did. And because you did, everything else had to follow. You can change your life at any time. Not by luck, not by force, but by growth. The world doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you've become capable of holding. So if you want to be wealthy and happy, stop asking, how do I get it? And start asking, how do I grow into the kind of person who attracts it naturally? Because success isn't something you pursue. It's something you attract by the person you become. And that's the secret, hidden in plain sight. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. And watch your world expand to match the size of your new self.